We're in the underground. Some things right there. They're like crystals. Got my safety helmet on. Zeke doesn't have a helmet. He only got his hood. Okay, you'll be safe there, Zeke. We're going there. Oh, it's so big. Hi guys, look. Outside. There's rain. It's weird. There's airport. I think it's like an airport outside. Wow. I get the airport road. It says Airport Road. That's Airport Road. Very awesome. Is this water? No, yeah, I can see water from over there. Look. What is this? Oh, I'm not allowed to get in there. Maybe it's coming from right over there. No? Well, thanks. Sometimes I have my safety helmet. Yo, what is that? Okay, bye. Our state in the county. We're in Hutchinson. Is it this in Greenwood County line? Nope. Because why? Because we're in Hutchinson.
was both time-consuming and costly. Powertrain crew ripped up and hauled back abandoned rails and ties from the mine that were used for our train track. Almost 5,000 feet of rail for the track you're riding on. At the next curve, we'll pass by other original cars used with the rails, including a hand-wheel-operated rail bending car. In case you were wondering, trash isn't the only thing miners left underground. And apparently this area was used as a restroom. Well, there were ponds here, and they weren't very careful with the toilet paper either. One reason we say, don't lick the salt. As we round the curve up ahead,
You see something?
two spotlights on the map. The first on the left will highlight a stack of empty cardboard dynamite boxes. Then on the right, you'll see a pillar that is scaling or spalling. This means that the salt is breaking away from the wall. And like wood sags and floor, this is a natural occurrence in a salt mine. And as your ride continues, keep in mind, we've tried to leave the mine just as it was years ago. Now, when we get to the station, please remain seated when we stop and do not get off the train until instructed to do so.
One glass, and each glass was about 8 feet apart. If you look toward the bottom of the ridge, you'll see that they curve forward slightly. This indicates the direction in which the miners were working. In this case, they're actually headed in the same direction that we are now. If you look up above us to the ceiling and ceiling lip here, you'll see some circular scrolling patterns. This was done by a machine called a continuous miner. And the continuous miner was a machine that generated a lot of salt dust, and they used the ceilings to make them a little bit higher and a little bit safer as well. It was basically a big drum barrel with some tungsten carbide teeth that would act as a little bit of a, not a drill, but a basically ground against the salt. So, they used this machine in our snack and drink area as well as our restrooms and our event center. And you can actually take your hard hats off under spaces like those, but since we're still on the line off, keep your hard hats on. The machine that did that though is not owned by Strataca, but is instead owned by the entrance team of Big Curtains instead. Back there you'll see one called a Brattis curtain. They used to be made out of either jute or wool. Nowadays they're made out of reinforced vinyl, so a big thick tarp. And that's what we have hanging in the gallery, and that's what they're still using today. Over on the right hand side in the front now is a photograph of an old ventilation fan, and we even have the fan blade itself underneath. This one we think is from the 1950s because we discovered it in the 1950s portion of the mine. Over here to the right is a little 1932 Chevy pickup. So there's not much to it. There's no doors, floorboards, windows, no movement or passenger seat, but there is a reason for that. The truth is that they really did need some of those things. They didn't have weather down here, so they really did need windshields and stuff like that. So they went all on the top side, and what they did need, they had to break down the big salt buckets down the salt skid. It was the only way down here until about 1975. So this was an issue. The salt buckets were only about 4 feet by 5 feet dimension. So this was obviously too big, so they actually had to disassemble it and break it down into pieces. Once it got down here, they put it back together and weld the parts back together before it was in operation. If it was small enough, they could actually dangle it from some chains underneath the buckets and bring it down that way, but most of the time it was too big to get down in pieces. So, like I said, this is a Chevy, not a Tesla, but it actually did run on electricity, running off of a 300-foot-long extension cord. So Emerson Carey, who was the owner of the Carey Salt Mining Company, he wanted his mine to be as modern as possible, so they were using electric energy from the very beginning. Nowadays, in the active mine, they also use another kind of combustion fuel called soy diesel or biodiesel. basically like cooking oil. It's safer to breathe, so they do use it and actually can use combustion engines nowadays.
Could be your souvenir. Okay, go.